Hey guys, it's Nick the Booksmith. Welcome back, welcome back. I don't think I showed you this. I looked back through some of the videos and I couldn't find where I showed you this. I got this press late last year, but at the time I don't think I was feeling well enough to kind of tackle restoring it. The paint has faded a lot, but I can still see some of the detail. So I was going to try and recreate as much as I could what it looked like in the beginning, and then maybe add a little bit more. It's pretty good size. The base is over 12 inches because the plate itself is 12 inches by 9.5. So it'll hold a fairly hefty book. It is opened all the way, so this is as far as it opens. And so the clearance is about 3 inches, which isn't a problem probably for me. Rarely do I make a book that's going to be over 3 inches thick. You might be able to see the separation here between the arm supports and the base. It can actually unbolt from the bottom and extensions can be put in here. Because as you can see, the screw is fairly long. And even if it's screwed all the way down, it still has another 1.5 inches it could be utilized for. So if I ever decide to, I could always put some extensions in here. But as it is right now, I'm not going to do that. I thought I would get started on this, and thought maybe you would want to join me in the journey as the book press turns, or I guess presses, because that's what they do. Presses press. All right, let's do this. Before I get started on it, I'm going to take a few photos of the front. And that way I can refer back to it later as far as the trim goes, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is it's going to be painted, I think just a basic black, because that's what it was. I'm just going to use acrylic paint. It's going to have a sealer on it when I'm finished anyway. So there's really no sense in spending a whole bunch of money on like furniture paint or cabinet paint when it's going to have a sealer on it anyway. I did clean it off with just some all-purpose cleaner. I didn't scrub it with a brush. I just scrubbed it with some rags and some cleaner and then wiped it down. So let's hope that's sufficient. So I am torn about where to start. Since I didn't place anything underneath this mat, I'll start up here. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Those of us in the northern hemisphere are hoping for some spring, but it keeps faking us out because we had another winter storm, another one. And it was 70 degrees. It actually got up close to 80 one day. And then the next week, it's snowing again. It's like, oh, seriously? It's like, well, thought I was going to get some apples on the tree this year, but probably not. I haven't even gone out to look. But we got down to, I think, 12 degrees just a couple of nights ago. The buds have not opened on the trees yet, but I think 12 degrees is pretty darn cold, and it can damage even closed buds. Because I know closed buds are more protected and will be okay under just a regular freeze. But I don't know, 12 degrees is like deep freeze. It's just dumb. Dumb. I got this press, which is more a letter press than a book press. I'm not going to get into semantics. I got this on eBay at the end of the year last year. It was in, I don't know, middle of December. or so. Got a decent deal on it from some folks in the East Coast, like Massachusetts or Rhode Island or Connecticut or one of those easterly coast states. I forget. Anyway, they were really nice. I don't think anybody else even bid on it. And I was like, woohoo! I got it for the starting price, which, yay. When does that ever get to happen? Rarely, if ever. I think it's right at like the limit of what the postal service will ship. So 70 or 75 pounds, I think, is the limit. Anything over that, and they're like, you're on your own, bucko. You have to use a freight service. UPS or DHL. Do we even have DHL? I know DHL delivers, but they do more commercial. They used to do residential, but I don't know if I don't know. I'm getting off on side points that mean absolutely nothing to anybody. So anyway, I got it, and it's been sitting here. I have used it as a press, but I've been meaning to take care of the paint situation and get it looking a little bit better. If it was warm outside, which it's not, I probably would have bought some Rust-Oleum, like some black Rust-Oleum, and I would have base coated it outside. But I'm not waiting. This will be fine. I'm going to try not to paint the screw. It's not really supposed to be painted. You're supposed to leave it alone. Now I got to put it back. Should have done this to begin with. Goodness gracious. Now I can paint down to the base. I have a little paint roller somewhere. I just can't think offhand where that is at the moment. Thought about painting it a dark green or a dark blue. I guess I still could, but I'll give it this base paint of black first, and then I'll decide, because I've got in my brain a few things that I'd like to add to it as far as painting, and I'll have to decide what will be the best as far as a base color goes for what I want to put on it. Black and gold is iconic, but nobody ever accused me of being iconic, so I'll probably just go quirky. Why fight it? I looked for a mark on it, like a maker's mark, but I couldn't find any. Maybe it's been painted several times, which is absolutely a possibility. And if it had a painted label on it somewhere, it may have gotten painted over. I am working on some new stuff, but nothing is really finalized yet, so it's hard to share any of it before it's, concrete. When I'm still figuring some things out, how I want to do it, and lest I lead you astray. I don't know if I'm going to paint the underside of the press plate. Reeks of effort. Still in decision mode as far as if I want to paint the wheel up here a different color or leave it black, or I don't know. Now the handle. This wheel up here. It's not even in camera. Look at me, because I'm a professional. If you happen to see a glimpse of me, don't scream, scare the children, because I am pretty much how I woke up this morning. I put my hair up in a scrunchie because it's long again. I cut my hair back in January, middle of January. Yeah, I think most of it's back. Grows like a weed. But it's hard to cut your own hair, especially when it's that long. It's hard to get it all straight. It's not like I'm going to ask my husband to do it. Some of you might live with someone that is capable of helping you out. But that is not one of the things I would ask anybody in my household to do. I think not. I'll just continue to pile it on top of my head and try to forget it's there and deal with it at a later date. Is everybody else doing that? Last week, I went to go see one of my cardiologists, and he's adorable. Gosh, I hope he never watches this. But he is adorable. He has this tousle of these curls. It's so funny because every time I go and see him, it's like it's a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. And I told him, I said, my goodness, your hair's getting as long as mine. He goes, yeah, this is my pandemic laziness. I said, yeah, same here. Definitely a relatable thing, I think, for a lot of people. Then he proceeded to tell me that my heart still sucked. But, you know, he's still adorable. I'm not going to hold that against him. I should have turned this. No, that works. I was trying to think of a story to tell you guys while I was painting this. What kind of a story do I have that I could tell you? I would ask you guys to share, because maybe you guys have, you know, similar stories. But the other day, it came to my mind again. Have you ever had a situation, it was definitely a real situation, like you weren't sleeping or dreaming and, you know, other people saw it, but you can't explain what it is. So you're just kind of left with a, well, we're just going to chalk that down to, I will tell you my weird story. When we lived in Indiana, before we moved here, our house was not too far out of the town that we lived outside of, just a few miles. We lived by an apple orchard. So it's not like, I mean, we lived in the country, but it wasn't like we didn't live where there was no other, you know, people or something. It wasn't like that. We definitely had neighbors next door. Anyway, back to my story. Just giving you a little bit of context. You with me? Good. One evening, it was summer, I was walking from my bedroom to the master bathroom, you know, because they're attached. As you're walking from the bedroom into the bathroom, there was this fairly large, tall window in the middle. And something caught my eye in the backyard, because it faced the backyard, and because it was bright light. And I was like, well, okay, what's that? It just, at first, nothing computes because it's just light. So it just catches your eye. I stand there and I'm looking out the window, and the light is right in the backyard. So it's not like it's far away. It's not like up in the sky or anything. It's maybe 20 feet away, 25 feet away at the most. I'll tell you what it looked like. It was as bright as, let's say, a police car sitting in your backyard with its, like, you know, the strobe lights, they kind of spin around so that there's like little gaps of light as you guys know what police car lights look like. So it was that bright. It seemed like there was at least 3 lights that were spinning like this, just like a siren, or keep saying siren. Siren is for sound, Nick, not light. But you know what I mean. They were like a greeny yellow. They weren't blue or red or white. They were kind of a greeny yellow. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't scary or anything. It was just, did a helicopter land in my backyard? You don't know. It's kind of this, I didn't know what to think. And so I yelled to everybody in the house, hey, come and look at this, come and look at this. But as soon as they got to where I was, the lights were gone. Well, crap. Now everybody thinks I'm a nut job. Oh, they'd be right. But you know, I kind of put it out of I mean, as much as you can put it out of your mind, because I'm one of those people like, what was that? I want to know what that was. It was swamp gas. I didn't call the police or anything because it wasn't scary or malevolent or anything. It was just, you know, lights. A few weeks later, and I can't really tell you how many weeks later, 3 or 4, it happened again. Except this time, my daughter was right there and my husband was right there. So it was just boom. And they're like, And it went on for, I'm going to say 30 to 60 seconds because it was long enough to go, hey, that's real. What is that? But not long enough for you to like want to go out into the backyard and investigate what it was. Because as soon as you're thinking, I'm just going to go check this out, it's gone. But anyway, so then we all saw it. And then I was like, yes, I'm not hallucinating this time. What was it? I don't know. Because all of a sudden the lights were just gone. And I guess I should say that this happened, at night. It was probably, both times it was probably 10:30 at night. It was just the weirdest thing. It's like all of a sudden the little spinning yellowy green lights they just, boop. It's like somebody turned them off. And they were gone. Still don't know what it was. I mean, it's not like it's pitch black outside because like porch lights are still going to be on and that kind of thing. I honestly couldn't see anything that was attached to the lights that was causing the lights to happen, like a source for the light. That's my weird thing. I thought it was weird. And Will Smith didn't show up and erase my memory. I guess we're all good. Oh, it's just swamp gas. So that's what we always say it was. It was swamp gas. We didn't live near a swamp, but Then I looked up ball lightning. There's a thing called ball lightning. However, there were not any storms going on at the time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think ball lightning is green. I could be wrong. Maybe it wants to be green. It's not easy being green, but if you want to be green, be green. It was too big to be like a drone or something unless it was like a massive drone. But I couldn't see a drone. Anything that's going to be that big, you'd think you'd see it. Although the lights were really bright, do you think that maybe the lights were so bright that you couldn't see what it was coming from? But if there was a police car in your backyard shining lights, even though the lights were really, really bright, would you see the police car? Yeah, I'm thinking you'd probably see the police car. They were big. It was, trying to think of area. It was substantial, like a dining room table, like a round dining room table area where the lights were rotating. I'm not surmising that aliens dropped down in my backyard and were trying to punk me or anything. It was probably some neighbor kid doing something stupid. I don't know. I still don't know. It was just an interesting thing that happened. It wasn't scary, anything like that. It was just weird. It's weird, man. Okay, our base is painted and I will draw out kind of what I am thinking as far as the rest of the painting goes. Wait till this dries and I'll turn it upside down and check and make sure that I didn't miss any spots or anything. Next time I see you, we will move into the fun part. I have some polyurethane, I think, somewhere in the garage. So perhaps I will go with some kind of a satin or matte polyurethane to seal it all up when I'm done. Anyway, I thought it had kind of a cool shape to it. I like with the bow arms. I think they're all cool, but I just really like the ones with the rounded shapes to them. It's not the one I wanted, but it was a pretty good deal. So I grabbed it because I figured even if I restore it and end up selling it and get the one I really, well, if I see it again, I mean, it was an antique, but if I see another one like the one I wanted again, it was just too expensive. The one I saw, I was like, oh, it's crazy. But you never know. Sometimes you happen across good deals where it's the same thing or it's close and the price is better. That happens. I mean, not usually to me, but it does happen. Thought I would go ahead and get it painted and restore it as far as that goes. It turns nice and smooth. The mechanism is good in it as far as that is concerned. Excellent shape for as old as it is, however old it is. I'm guessing it's probably at least 125, if not 150. But anyway, it's super cool. I will let you guys go for now. I didn't want to miss this opportunity to show you the press because I thought you guys would dig it because you're people like me and we dig these kinds of things. No excuses. We are who we are, right? All right, guys. When I come back, we will work on this again. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys really, really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.